Hey there, this is LaQuita with QuitaBugHandmaids.com. Thank you so much for joining me today for another Stampin' Up! Tutorial. So today I have a really cute project to share with you featuring the Nuts and Bolts stamp set. So this is a new stamp set that just came out with our new spring mini catalog by Stampin' Up! Such a fun stamp set, and hopefully you saw my video last week on Tuesday, I think it was, where I shared with you that you can get a free card kit that features the Nuts and Bolts stamp set. Well, I featured the Nuts and Bolts stamp set with the card kit, but you get a kit in the mail from me as a gift when you place a $40 minimum order, and you can make one of each of these projects. Now, nothing comes stamped for you, so you would need the stamp set, or you could use any stamp set of your choice. But if you want to recreate them as I have, I used the Nuts and Bolts stamp set. So really, really cute kit. So don't forget, this kit is only available for orders placed with me during the month of, what is this month? January, during the month of January. So I'll link to all the details to get this kit. I'll link to all the details down below in the video description. So you're gonna see a lot of projects from me this month featuring this stamp set. I just really love it. And the colors for today's card, so fun. So actually the layout for today's card was inspired by a card that I saw Stampin' Up! Shared over on their Facebook page. I just changed up the colors to fit my style, and I love it. So I'm starting with some StazOn Jet Black ink here, and I am going to stamp my little robot on this piece of white cardstock. So this is cut 2.5 by 2.5 inches. So it makes a nice little square, and I'll just stamp my little robot right here. I'm just loving this little robot set. Oh, he is just so cute. So I'm gonna let that dry, and then I'm gonna bring in this little strip of basic black cardstock. So this is cut 1/2 inch by 3 inches, and I'm gonna stamp my sentiment on here. So I've got a scrap piece of paper. Put that down, stamp my sentiment in Versamark ink because we're going to heat emboss this sentiment that says, "Greetings, kind human." We'll just put that right in the center. That should be good. So Versamark is just an ink that is sticky and it stays wet, and it allows you to add embossing powder that you can then heat set, and it's just a lot of fun. It gives you this kind of raised impression once the powder dries, and then it's nice and shiny. Okay, just trying to make sure I don't have too many bits of powder just like loose on there. There we go. Oh, and I just blew. Don't do that, guys. Don't do that. Whoops, I forgot that was still out. So let me just clear my powdery mess out of the way here without messing that up. And I'm gonna bring in my Stampin' Up! Heat tool. I'm gonna put it on setting 2. You can turn your volume down if this is too loud for you. So now I can go on and color in my I was about to call this a dragonfly. I have no idea why. My robot. So I'm gonna be coloring him in with my Stampin' Right markers. So when you're using Stampin' Right markers, keep in mind, these are not the same as coloring with Stampin' Blends. These are not alcohol markers. So you can't build up the color, okay? So you wanna keep that in mind when you're using these. If you try to do that, you're gonna notice your coloring is very uneven and your paper is going to start to peel and tear. Okay, so these are not the same as alcohol markers, but they are fun to color with, and the color is very vibrant and bold. So I've got Magenta Madness, Smoky Slate, and Bumblebee here. I'm gonna start first with the Magenta Madness, and I'm gonna use the brush tip end on my markers, and let's start coloring this little guy in. Okay, so I've got the magenta. Then I'm gonna go on and do these little extra pieces in Smoky Slate. Okay, and then the little flower Bumblebee. And there you have our finished little robot. Isn't that cute? So now we can start putting all of this together. So for my card base, I've got Magenta Madness. I absolutely love this pink. So this is cut at 8.5 inches by 5.5 inches, and I've scored it at 4.25 inches. Let me just get my bone folder. Give that a nice crease. There we go. Then I have got some basic black. This is cut 3.5 inches by 4.75 inches, and I do have all of these measurements over on today's blog post linked down below. And then I've got this piece of black and white. This is from the Pattern Party Designer Series paper. I love this paper. It's actually a paper pack that you can get with your host rewards. So this is cut just 1/8 of an inch less on all 4 sides. So you can see it just gives you this thin black border, okay? But again, all the measurements down below on today's blog post. I'm going to try to adhere this down with Stampin' Seal. I don't normally use Stampin' Seal when I have such a thin border because it can be hard to center it. I like liquid glue for that, but let's see if I can do it. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. All right, and then I'll add this layer onto the front. That looks good. Okay, then we'll just take our robot and we'll add this little guy on flat as well. And I'm just gonna line this up over here off to the left. I think that looks straight. Yeah, right there looks good. Then for my sentiment, I'm gonna pop this up. I'm actually gonna use black dimensionals. I love that we have black ones as well. So I'll just use these. Whoops. Take off my backings. Okay. And we'll just pop the sentiment right here, I think, or do I want it up a little higher? maybe just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit higher than that. I think, yep, right there looks perfect. I'll just put it there, okay. And I'm gonna finish this card up with some of my favorite embellishment. These are the matte black dots. I love these, love them. And I'm going to do a little one there, one of the smaller ones, and then we'll put smaller one there, and then one of the larger ones right there. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, and there you have it. That finishes up the card. Isn't this card so much fun? I love how bright it is. I love the black and white, and I absolutely love Magenta Madness. Such a pretty pink. And you know, I had to do an envelope, so I added some designer paper to the flap. This is the same, this is from the same paper pack, the Pattern Party designer paper. And then of course, stamped my little robot on the front as well. So there you have it. Such a cute little card to send and to receive in the mail. So much fun. So I hope that you have enjoyed today's tutorial, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. And don't forget, you can find all of the measurements and all of the supplies for today's project linked over on my coordinating blog post, which is down below. And I do actually have all of the products linked and listed down below in the video description as well. But thanks again, and stay tuned because I'll be back again very soon with another tutorial. Bye now.